Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Hardianti Wulandari. My supervisor is M. Saiful, MPD BI. I want to present about my proposal entitled Analysis of Distance Learning English in Reading Material for Students English Education, Department of Ahmad Dahlan University. Introduction. Background of study. 1. Understanding of distance education. 2. In distance learning, the role of technology is needed considering that learning is done online. 3. The level of difficulty faced by students in general. According to Ahmadi 1991, they do not know how to study effectively and cannot focus well. 4. The purpose of this paper is to find out how to analyze the presentation of reading learning material in written form for students of the English Education Department. Identification of the problems. 1. The importance of reading for college students. 2. Reading strategies in English. 3. The purpose of reading in English. Limitation of the problems. Based on the problem identification about the study, focus on distance learning methods that are appropriate for students to use for reading learning and the advantage and disadvantage of learning reading using a distance learning system. Formulation of the problems. Based on this problem boundaries, the research formulate the following problems. 1. The appropriate method used by students for learning reading during a pandemic or distance learning. 2. The strengths and the weakness of learning reading with a distance learning system according to students. Objective of the study. The results of this study are expected to provide an idea that online learning has flexibility in its implementation and it is able to encourage independent learning and motivation to be more active in learning. Practically, the results of this study are expected to be useful for students, especially students of English Education Department, as a reference that helps them understanding the appropriate reading methods for distance learning. Significance of the study. 1. For English language education students, the results of this study can be used as additional knowledge to improve student mastery of distance reading learning. 2. For English language education teacher, lecturers can find out the level of reading mastery of students so they can prepare appropriate teaching material. In addition, they can identify specific difficulties faced by students in mastering distance reading learning and anticipate how to overcome them. 3. For English education research, the results of this study can be used as stimulant information for further research on distance reading learning for students because this study only discusses the analysis of distance reading learning. Literature review. Review of relevant studies. 1. Aktivitas pembelajaran daring distance learning pada masa pandemi COVID-19 di jurusan Pendidikan Geografi Universitas Siliwangi Tasikmalaya. The similarities between this research and the author's research is distance education studies. The difference between this study and previous research lies in the theory used in this study. 2. Analisis pelaksanaan pembelajaran Google Classroom Distance Learning Era Pandemic COVID-19 materi tata surya pada siswa kelas 7 MTS Negeri Salatiga tahun pelajaran 2019-2020. The similarities between this research and the other research is distancing education studies. The difference between these studies and previous research lies in the theory used in this study. Theoretical review. Distance learning. Distance learning is training given to participants or students who do not regularly gather together in one place to receive lesson directly from the instructor. The distance learning process can be delivered using a variety of technique and technology. Principles of teaching reading. Principles of distance learning. Research methods. Research use qualitative methods to fulfill the research desire to get an overview or explanation, and also help to get deeper explanation about distance learning in reading material among English Education Department. Object of research. The object of research is a scientific objective with specific aims and objective to obtain certain data that has a different value, score, or measure. The research object uses a survey via Google Form as primary data. Subject of research. The subject of this study was to determine the effectiveness of distance learning English in reading material among English Language Education Department. Data collecting method. The author collect data with the following procedure. When the study distribute a survey regarding the methods, advantage and disadvantage of distance learning English in reading material among English Language Education Department. 2. The study analyzes the results of a select survey that pay attention to the most opinion of students. Data analysis method. The data in this study were analyzed using qualitative methods. According Miles and Haberman 1992 state that the qualitative method refers to a type of analysis method where the data is in the form of words, not numbers. Qualitative method provide a broad overview of the process that occur in the observed file.